Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. To something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Chord Progressions, Chester's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. But anyways, enough about me. It's me to dominate the conversation. He withdraws his phone and places it face up on the table. How's your first day going? Pretty well, actually. Chester's a great boss. The work's been tough, but not unreasonable. That's cool to hear. Yeah, you actually helped me out earlier, by the way. Huh? Well, a customer came in to buy a guitar. After you taught me what pedals are and how they work, I was able to upsell him one. No way, that's awesome! Glad I was helpful, I guess. Yeah, you definitely were. Thanks for that. Yeah, no prob. At this point, I realized Daryl had blazed through his meal. He spoke a lot during our conversation. How the hell did he eat all that and still manage to talk so much? How'd you like your burrito, by the way? Good, isn't it? Truth be told, it wasn't anything to write home about. Still delicious nonetheless. This is nice. Everything tastes fresh and there's a lot of flavor. I think this is going to be a nice lunchtime staple for me. Oh, for sure. I'm actually super jealous of you right now. He takes his last few bites, leaving only a few grains of rice behind. Man, that absolutely hit the spot. Tip for next time, though. Think about getting a burrito bowl instead of a regular burrito. Yeah, that's what I do. I usually get a burrito bowl, and then I'll just use the chips and make it basically nachos. Tips are free, yep. You can use your bowl like a dip. It's like extra value. This place sounds a lot like Moe's. Value, you say? Now you're speaking my language, Lion Man. I sure do like value. I'll keep that in mind. Daryl disposes of the empty cardboard bowl and plastic lid into the chip bag. He picks up his phone and takes a quick glance at the screen. Well, I think it's time for me to get going. My shift's starting soon. I don't want to be late again. Sorry, I gotta leave you hanging. Damn, I was hoping to spend a little more time with this guy. I was really enjoying our conversation. Not to mention this lion is quite easy on the eyes. He's got quite the handsome face, and those beefy arms are to die for. Not sure if he ever go for a guy like me, though, or if he even goes for guys in general. My gaydars are picking up any signals. It's okay. I'll wrap up and head back to the shop. It's probably almost time for me to get back to work anyway. True. Well, I'll see you around, I guess. I come by the shop often, so you'll see me again at some point. For sure. Take care. Daryl scooched himself out of the booth and stood up with his trash. You too. He discards his waste and walks out the front door. Out of the window, I see him cross the street and return to his car at a brisk pace. He's nice, handsome too, and it's so sweet how he fawns over his baby niece. It's like I'm alone now. Why am I sitting here entertaining the idea that I could date a guy like him? What do I have to offer him, or anyone for that matter? I'm a 25-year-old burnout stuck working retail for the rest of his life. Not to mention, I'm just a weirdo who ogles his coworkers and strangers like they're pieces of meat. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with me? Who on earth wants a fat, creepy, good-for-nothing... No! Stop! I don't have time to get trapped in another thought spiral. I still have a whole workday ahead of me. There's no time to wallow in self-pity right now. I walk back to the shop a little instant, aside from keeping the nasty thoughts at bay. I just need to keep myself focused on work. It's much easier to just shove those negative feelings aside if I stay focused. I enter through the front door and find April bored at the counter. Hey, I'm back! Cool, go find Pat. He's next for break. I give her a quick nod and embark on my new task. I mosey to the dining room and find Pat still behind the register. Hey, guys! Hey, dude, where'd you go for lunch? Polos Gordos. It was good. Never had anything like that before. Never had burrito before? Really? It's a common restaurant chain. How haven't you had it? I mean, my hometown is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Jeez, I didn't know it was that bad. Pat turns to address Dave. I'm getting ramen. I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty, drive safe. Pat waves and briskly walks into the kitchen. Dave turns his attention towards me. Is it busy out there? Yeah, out in the front of house? No, not really. Oh, good. Want to try operating the register until Pat gets back? Sure, I'll give it a shot. I get behind the counter, assuming Pat's previous position. Dave comes up behind me, putting one paw on my shoulder and bringing his face close to the side of my head, leaving me with little personal space. His free paw is poking the touchscreen at the point of service. So, it's real simple. He starts poking at the screen to navigate the user interface. Just select the items the customer wants from the index, then everything you selected are all put in the cart. Once all the items the customer wants are in the cart, hit the cash out button. Then you swipe their card or take their cash. He's softly speaking directly in my ear. His volume and proximity are giving me a peculiar sensation. It's a tingly sort of feeling. A good tingle. If you got any questions, just ask me, okay? Yeah, sure, thanks. He gives my shoulder a tight squeeze. You're welcome, buddy. You're gonna do great. Dave returns to his station. Customers approach soon after. One by one, I was able to log their orders and process their payments. This user interface is incredible. As I take orders, several prompts are displayed that simply guide me through the process effortlessly. With each purchase, a receipt printer by Dave's workstation generates a ticket for him to review. Dave and the customer receive a unique order number on their respective receipts. Dave prepares their meals and then calls out the order number. The corresponding customer will then retrieve the food. His workflow is something to behold. He expertly dances back and forth between the flat-top grill and the espresso machine, completing each customer order with a fluid elegance. Looks like he can handle things without the help of Chester and Pat for this low volume of customers. Speaking of... Hey, so where is Chester? He headed out not too long after you went on break. He'll be back in a few hours. Is he running errands or something? I reckon he might be. On days when he both opens and closes, he likes to take long breaks in the middle of the day. He'll run a few errands, but spends most of his time at the gym. Makes sense. Needs to maintain those muscles somehow. Yep, he's real serious about it. Always wanting to get bigger all the time. Meanwhile, I like my method of getting bigger. He gives me a devious grin and slaps his plump belly. Not gonna lie, I was slightly aroused by that. Luckily, a customer comes by to interrupt any further progression of my naughty thoughts. Just like with the depressing thoughts, I can drown out the horny ones by fixating on work. At around 2:15 is when I notice a real tone shift with the patrons of our cafe. Before, the folks frequenting the restaurant were looking to get a quick morning or early afternoon meal, in and out. However, now we're starting to get a lot of folks who are lingering and socializing, mostly young people, seemingly younger than me. At this point, we were mostly selling pastries and lattes, perfect after-school snacks. Folks were now coming in large groups, ordering and sitting together. The cafe now became a bustling social venue. These kids are quite nice. They're polite and really seem to respect our space. Dave's familiar with a lot of them. Some even introduced themselves to me and were excited to see a new face working at their favorite hangout spot. At around 3, we hit a hard lull. Dave approaches me. Hey, bud, I think it's time for you to get back out front and get some training with Pat. I'll be closing up soon. You're closing now? No, but it's nice to get a head start. While you're out there, ask April if she can come back and help me. Gotcha, I'll go find them. The vibe out here definitely changed as well. The space has transformed into a social atmosphere like it did in the cafe. Folks were lounging on the furniture found around the store, conversing with one another, many with instruments in paw. Guitars, basses, drums, keyboards, all being played by masters and amateurs alike. The noise of it all together was chaotic, but not overwhelming. Everyone seems to be mindful of their volume. No particular player was too loud or obnoxious. The cacophony created by these musicians all blended together and created something of a white background noise. I'm not finding any of this bothersome. As a matter of fact, it's quite comforting. I approached my coworkers, seemingly mid-conversation. Hey, April. Dave wants us to swap stations. He needs some... Holy fuck! Thank you! April briskly storms off without explanation, leaving me with the collie. What was that? The fuck? Okay. What's her deal? She doesn't appreciate my, creative thought experiments is all. Creative thought experiments? What on God's green earth does that mean? Do I even ask? Oh, which reminds me, I got one for you too. I guess I have no choice in the matter. Would you rather go 1 year without sex or go 5 years without your favorite food? Uh-oh. That struck a nerve. I'm not rightly sure how long it's been since I last had sex. Over a year at least. Living with parents makes hooking up difficult. On top of that, Fairview didn't have the best prospects. Many frequenters of the hookup apps were closeted married men looking to cheat on their wives. Hard pass. It was slim pickings and frequent rejection. Many of the men I messaged were quick to dismiss me because of my weight, penis size, or even my species. After all that rejection, I couldn't bring myself to keep using those apps anymore. It's probably for the best. I mean, who wants... Pat snaps his digits at me a few inches from my eyes. You okay? You were zoning out on me. Oh, sorry, that question just kind of struck a nerve. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I forgot I said anything. He genuinely looks remorseful. Maybe a little cool with the inappropriate comments for now. Well, I guess we should focus on training stuff. So, a lot of folks come in during this time of day and want to try out some merchandise. He gestures to the many patrons in the store sampling the instruments on sale. Some instruments are labeled with a Try Me tag. That means a customer can just take it and try it without permission. The more expensive ones have a tag that say, please ask for assistance. Pat goes over the general etiquette customers must follow while handling the merchandise. He also provides some guidelines for following up with customers as they sample an instrument. We spent some time making rounds about the shop, finding players who were trying out instruments and asking them questions. Based on their answers, Pat was able to gauge if the customer was looking to buy. Turns out lots of folks just like to come in and sample the instruments with no intention of buying anytime soon, just like Daryl did today. Pat mentioned that Chester actively encourages this. Being hospitable to these customers helps foster good rapport. Sure, they may not buy today, but they may buy tomorrow, or they'll tell their friends and family where to buy. You can't lose. Plus, even if they don't buy an instrument, they may grab a latte instead. I was starting to piece together the functionality of this wild business model that Chester and Dave had concocted. I have to give credit to those two. They stumbled onto something great here. I'm glad I get to be a small part of it. The next hour flew by rather quickly. Just shy of 4 o'clock, Chester shows up. How are you two doing up here? Not causing any trouble, right? His tone suggests that he's mostly joking. Mostly. Nah, I was just getting Eddie caught up on our try before you buy policy. Fantastic. Great work. He gives Pat a firm pat on the shoulder. The dog flashes his signature toothy grin in response. Well, I can take over from here. You're free to go if you want. Sweet, I'm gone then. See you guys tomorrow. The collie made a swift exit. So, how you doing? Feeling overwhelmed? Maybe a little. It's a lot for our first day. I understand. There's a lot of new people, new information, and very little time to process it all. Chester places a paw on my shoulder. In time, it'll all come together. I genuinely couldn't ask for a better first day from you. I could tell he's being sincere. It's relieving to have his reassurance. Are you sure you still want to help me close down? April's about to leave. This is your last chance to back out. As tempting as it is to head home and relax for the rest of the day, I have every reason to stay here. First off, I want that overtime money. Secondly, I need to keep my brain occupied. I need to work until I drop. Nope, I'm fine. I want the overtime. Great. It's nice to have an extra set of paws for closing. Do you normally close by yourself? Normally, no, but we've been short-staffed lately, so I've taken on that responsibility. Mind if I ask why that is? So far, I think the short-staffing is the only piece of the puzzle I can't figure out. Chester's a great boss. This is a great work environment, and the pay isn't bad. What's the catch? Things have been rough these past few months. We lost a couple of staff members. Replacing them has been tough. I've always had a policy of hiring musicians only, but I've had to be a little more open-minded lately. More often than not, it's queer musicians who want to come work for me, and I'm thrilled to give them the opportunity. That said, they can often come with a lot of baggage, and that baggage can cause problems. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I want to thank all of our lovely patrons for everything they do for our channel. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!